Matt Rambo is my favorite lacrosse player in the world right now. The man has consistently dominated at every level of lacrosse he's played. In high school, he ended his senior year as the highest scorer in Pennsylvania lacrosse history. In college, he won a national championship and college lacrosse's most valuable player. Most recently, he won the MVP of the PLL and scored the game winner to win the PLL championship. Long story short, this guy is a baller, and today I want to break down exactly why he's so good and show you how we can take parts from his game and implement them into our game. The best way to start becoming great at lacrosse is by modeling your game after players who are great. So at the end of this video, I'm going to recommend some specific drills that will rapidly accelerate your growth as a lacrosse player and help you become the next Matt Rambo. My goal is to help anyone and everyone become great at the sport that I love so much. So let's get into it. And by the way, I don't want to spend too long on this at all, but I made a course called 99 Drills for Great Attackmen, and if you just want more practice, it has a lifetime money-back guarantee because truly I just want to help people become better at lacrosse. So anyways, that's it. Back to the video. So if you've watched any amount of film on Matt Rambo, you'll notice he has one move that he goes to on almost every single dodge, and that's turning the corner with his left hand. He drives up from X with his left hand, and as he crosses goal line extended, he shoots the ball on the run. This move is the basis of everything Rambo does on the field, and it's why he is so successful. This is my first point. If you want to be dominant, pick one move to get extremely good at. For Rambo, it's turning the corner with his left hand. For Rob Pennell, it's the question mark. For Ryan Brown, it's his outside shot. Whatever it is, pick a move and become the best at it. In Rambo's case, if he has any, and I mean any free space with his left hand, he can get off a quality shot on goal that's really tough to stop. And this is seen time and time again. I mean, just look at how little angle he has on the shot, and yet he's able to make it look so easy. This is important because having a move that's so automatic means defenders have to overplay him when he's driving up with his left hand. And that opens up the possibility for counter moves. Let me show you an example. In this case, Matt is set up on the left side of the field and squares up his defender like he's about to drive up towards the cage with his left hand. He just takes one or two steps to his left, and his defender is already overplaying him. So then he just rolls back underneath and has a relatively easy path to the goal. And that's not just any player defending him. That's Jared Newman, the defensive MVP of the PLL. So this is my next point. If you want to be great at lacrosse, you have to have counter moves. Here's another example. Rambo is driving up to the left side like he's about to turn the corner, and his defender is overplaying him. So then he just rolls back to his right, and now his defender is way out of position. So now he can just go back to his left, and he has his hands free for a goal. But the only way this move was possible is because he's so automatic with his left hand that his defender almost has to overplay him. Rambo is in complete control now and can pretty much do whatever he wants because his defender has no idea what's coming next. So to recap, my first 2 points. Number 1, you need to have a dominant move that you can perform extremely well at. And number 2, you have to have a counter move that keeps your defender guessing. Now that I think about it, I'm going to make another video soon about my list of the most dominant moves in lacrosse and their counter moves as well. So moving on to point number 3. What makes Rambo so special at dodging is the way he initiates contact into his defender. Let me explain. When Rambo is going in for a dodge, he uses his shoulder and leans into his defender. One of the only advantages defenders have is their longer stick. But when you lean in and initiate that contact, you take away the advantage from the defender, and now the attackman has all the advantage. And you can see it clearly in this dodge. Rambo leans in, and now his defender is so focused on pushing him away from the goal that he forgets that Rambo is pretty much in the best spot on the entire field. 5 yards away from the goal and 5 yards up. Some people call this the island. And Rambo can do whatever he wants at this point, so he just turns around and shoots. A lot of times I see younger attackmen who are afraid to initiate contact. But the sooner you can learn how to embrace that contact, the sooner you'll start scoring more goals. Lacrosse is a physical game, and you have to be able to take contact. And if you don't like getting hit, wear more pads or lift more weights, and that'll help you get over that fear. The next thing I want to talk about is Rambo's north-south dodging style. When Rambo's dodging, he is dodging completely towards the cage. Let me show you an example. In this dodge, Rambo gets a little bit of space from a pick set by his teammate. And once he gets this space, notice how he immediately runs toward the cage. A lot of players tend to run more east to west or to the side, which gives your defender a chance to catch up. But Rambo goes straight down towards the cage, forcing his defender to try an over-the-head check, and ultimately he scores. Whatever position you play, it's super important that you're always driving towards the cage, not to the side of it. I know it sounds obvious, but I can't tell you how many people fail to actually do this. So if you can get this down now, especially early on in your lacrosse career, you're going to be a great lacrosse player. My last note about Rambo's game is his ability to be clutch and confident. I mean, the guy scored the game winner to win the entire PLL championship, and he consistently puts up numbers in big games. What I respect about Matt Rambo is that you can tell he wants the ball in his stick in the final minute. Some people say this kind of attitude is something you either have or you don't. And though I partly agree, I think this confidence comes from the practice that you put in on your own. Now, I agree Rambo has some God-given talent, but I guarantee you he works extremely hard. He's 5'10" and 200 pounds. He's not some crazy 6'4", 250-pound specimen, but yet he's able to dominate pretty much any defenseman that comes up against him. That's because of his skills that he's been developing his whole life. So, if you want to be more clutch, there's no secret. Just practice more than everyone else. So now that I've outlined exactly what makes Rambo so good, I want to recommend some drills we can do that will help us implement those parts of Rambo's game and put them into our game. So let's start with my first point, Rambo's dominant move, turning the corner. The best way to get good at turning the corner is by practicing just that. Get a bucket of lacrosse balls and put them behind the goal. And now put a cone about 3 yards or so up and 3 yards or so out from the goal. And just practice with your dominant hand and run to that cone and turn the corner. There's definitely a form to it, but when you're just starting out, focus on getting comfortable. Try for maybe 50 to 100 reps or so. Then move the cone a little closer in so you have less of an angle, and just practice. Try to hit different spots on the goal, or different release points like going sidearm or underhand. The goal is to just get good enough to where if you have any free space, you can turn the corner and put on a quality shot on goal. Next is practicing the counter move. In this case, a great move to counter turning the corner is the inside roll. You drive up towards the cage like you're about to turn the corner, and then roll underneath your defender and shoot it. Add another 50 to 100 reps inside rolling and really try to sell it like you're turning the corner and then you're inside rolling. The next thing to do is being able to initiate contact with your dodges. And the best way to do this is to get a partner, preferably a teammate who's a defender, and just practice one-on-ones. Even if you don't have a teammate you can practice with, a parent or a coach or anyone else with one of those football pads actually will work great. Now I know not everyone has a partner, so I think another way to get better with making contact is by lifting weights. If you're in high school, I'd recommend you find a trainer or someone to give you a basic workout plan to follow, and I'll make a video on this. If you can build up some basic strength, you'll have a much easier time leaning into defenders and making contact. On to point number 4, practicing north-south dodging. This is really just a mental thing. Whenever you dodge, point your body like you're going towards the goal, and make sure that every rep in practice you're thinking about this. If you do that, you're setting yourself up for success. And lastly, being clutch. I think this just comes down to how much you practice. If you know that you're putting more work in than the guy you're playing against, well, you're probably going to be more confident than him. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, I made that course called 99 Drills for Great Attackmen if you want even more instruction. You can check it out, I'll put a link in the description. Also, I want to know you're always free to comment or email me, and I'll try to respond as soon as possible if you have any questions or need some advice on your lacrosse game. I'm always here to help. I hope you have a great day, and tell me who you want to see next, and I'll see you next time.